Yo, what's up, sports fans? Cleaver Podcast here on a new episode of our podcast. Josh Clow,
Michael Weaver.
and we're going to talk about playoffs and some head coaching hirings and situations. Start off with these this week's playoff games, divisional round in the NFL.
Yep.
Ooh, we're almost close to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, final 8. Here we go.
Final 8. Got the 4. And, you got the Pro Bowl no one watches anymore. And then,
Yeah.
Ooh, going down to Atlanta. All right, first game, Colts at the Chiefs. Probably going to be a lot high-scoring game than people think it's going to be. Two high-powered offenses. Andrew Luck has thrown, 3 touchdowns in, 11 straight games.
Yeah.
I don't, other than probably in the wild card, I think he only threw 2.
Only 2.
Only 2, yeah. But, Patrick Mahomes, 50 touchdowns, 5K yards, so offense here.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good game there in Kansas City. I don't know, who do you think's got the edge in this one? Because I would lean a little bit more toward the Colts because of their defense.
You can say defense, but my only thing is, can the Colts keep up with the Chiefs? And I think the worst outing on offense the Chiefs have this season was 27 points.
Yeah.
And that was against the Ravens defense, who was number 1 in the league. So you can't stop this team on defense.
Yeah.
I mean, there's too many weapons. You stop You stop Tyreek Hill. Well, crap, you got Sammy Watkins, or you got Kelvin Benjamin on the other side.
Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce. Damian Williams has played very well since signing with or becoming a part-time starter with Spencer Ware. I mean, and then Patrick Mahomes, he just does unthinkable things. I mean, sidearm throws, no-look throws. It's very hard to give him on a bad day. Even on a bad day, he still makes it up and make it a pretty solid game. I mean, and all else fails, he has wheels.
Mm-hmm.
He'll use his legs. I've seen him. He'll take a hit.
Yeah.
But my only thing on the Colts is how inexperienced this team is. I mean, there's so many young guys. I mean, if you look at the cap space, they have 122 million in cap space next year, meaning most of those guys are on rookie deals.
Mm-hmm.
So most of these guys may have not been in the playoffs before. I mean, you did go against the Texans, but you've already played them twice, and this is a whole other ball game. Plus, you're in Kansas City, which Kansas City is not the easiest place to win at. No.
It's not.
But I think the Chiefs has a slight edge at home, despite them having a really bad record at home in the playoffs. I think this is a whole new turning of the team, and then plus I trust Andy Reid over Frank Reich. How do you pronounce his name? So, who do you got? You said Colts.
I said Colts might have a slight edge, but I mean the Chiefs. It's gonna be a close game, I think, but high scoring kind of game. Like you said, the Colts have an inexperienced team, but so do the Chiefs. Andrew Luck has been to the playoffs. He's won. He's come back from 28 down in the playoffs in a game. Patrick Mahomes, this is his first year starting, so it's going to be a whole different beast for him. But it's going to be at home, which that'll
Eric Berry's finally back.
Yeah.
He got a week off to rest. I think he's going to be back to his, I don't want to say his prime anymore.
No.
But
he makes them better on defense, for sure.
Yeah, for a team that's, I mean, they got a decent pass rush, but they can definitely use him on the pass protecting and on the against the run.
Yeah.
Which the Colts has a good run team also.
Yeah, and that's the biggest weakness of the Chiefs defenses. Their run defense is not good, as has been exploited. But I think it's pretty even just because of the high-powered offense of the Chiefs. The Colts do have a good defense, but the Chiefs, they're so good on offense that I think it evens it out. But
we did watch that Rams-Chiefs game. I mean,
yeah.
That's maybe what's going to turn out to be. There was defense in that game, but defense scored.
Yeah.
So don't sleep on the Chiefs' defense. They can score. So.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the Chargers and Patriots game. This one's probably going to be less low scoring or high scoring, not high scoring.
Yeah,
but,
it's going to be a lower scoring kind of game.
The Chargers are the only team in the NFL that has a top 10 offense and a top 10 defense. I want to say they're ranked 9 in offense and 6 in defense. So, and you know how Brady is against these, decent defenses.
Yeah.
He does struggle, but it is in Foxborough where he doesn't lose barely.
Yeah.
In the last 12 years, I think
His entire career.
Joe Flacco's the only one that's beaten him in recent years. So, do you trust Phillip Rivers?
I want to say yes, but even at age 41, Tom Brady is Tom Brady, and it's postseason Tom Brady.
Is this the game that they're going to start realizing that losing Josh Gordon's going to hurt them in the long run?
Probably. I would say. Yeah, because Josh Gordon, obviously, he made the Patriots a better offense. But, I don't know. I mean, Tom Brady, he's always found ways to make no-name receiver superstars. So,
yep,
he has a knack for doing that. The best quarterbacks make their receivers better, and Tom Brady he's a pro at that. So, literally and figuratively. So, but I don't know. Phillip Rivers, he does have, he has weapons that he can use.
Yeah, you have Kieran Allen. Hunter Henry just got activated. I don't know if he's going to play. I don't think he qualifies to play. I didn't do research on that, but that is definitely a huge boost for them.
Yeah, and he's still got old reliable Antonio Gates, right?
Yeah, he played.
He's not the
decent.
same.
He played decently against the with the Ravens, and then you still got Melvin Gordon.
Yeah.
So, and I think it was last year Melvin Gordon went off against the Patriots. He had like 150 rushing yards, a couple of touchdowns, and a very close game against those two teams. So it's going to be a good game for those two. Moving on to the NFC, I think this is going to be the game of the week. Eagles visiting the Saints.
Yeah, there's potential for that, for sure. Especially with the way the Eagles have been playing and surprising everybody, really.
Yeah,
and surprising me.
They rally behind Nick Foles. Nick Foles is, I mean, he's the man.
Yeah.
He is. He's the man. I mean, against the Bears, he had a bad first half, but really came out in the second half, threw 250 yards, 2 TDs. He's a gunslinger, and we know Drew Brees is a gunslinger. But if you want to look at some stats, Drew Brees didn't even throw 4,000 yards this season, and he may have been under 30 touchdowns. So they're relying on the run.
Yeah.
But take away the run, I don't know if. I mean, I'm not going to count out Drew Brees.
Yeah, Drew Brees can still beat you with his arm. He's proven it for a decade.
The Eagles' defense is kind of flip-flop, despite them being injured. I mean, you held the Redskins to 0 points. You came out with the Bears. You only held them to 15 points.
Yeah.
I mean, and Chicago. And the Bears have a solid offensive team. I mean, you have 2 great running backs. You have a couple of good wide receivers, and Allen Robinson and the Anthony Miller.
Yeah.
But
do you trust Trubisky yet? I think that's yeah, I don't trust him.
But Nick Foles, I can see the Eagles beating the Saints.
Yeah.
I can definitely see that. This is Nick Foles is playing for nothing at this point. I mean,
there's no pressure on the Eagles.
He's not going to be on the Eagles next year. He's getting a new job next year because he's going to be worth $20 million if the Eagles keep him.
Yeah.
If that happens, Carson Wentz goes. I mean, he's just playing for a second ring at this point.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be a good offensive game also. And then final are the Cowboys at the Rams.
Rams. I hope the Rams win, really.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Cowboys fan, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys somehow tops the Rams.
Yeah.
They did beat the Saints in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it's Eagles and Cowboys in the NFC Championship.
I wouldn't be surprised either,
But my only standpoint is can the Cowboys stop the offensive powerhouse of the Rams? We know the Bears did. I know they're probably going to be looking into that game all week long.
Yeah.
How they did it. How do you pick off Jared Goff 4 times? You held Todd Gurley to 30 points. But I think they did a good job against Seahawks for most of the game into the
Yeah.
late comeback, but they got a lot of weapons, so
Yeah, the Rams offense is a completely different beast from the Seahawks offense.
yeah, but the Rams defense is not the greatest defense out
Exactly.
there, so it's
If Zeke, it's going to come down to the two running backs and whoever has the bigger day, Todd Gurley or Zeke. So, and I think Zeke is going to have the bigger day, despite how great Todd Gurley is. But he's not 100%. I don't think still.
yeah, and Cowboys
have
the
a
fourth best
Yeah.
rushing defense, something like that. So I think this one's going to be the closest of the games, despite the Chargers and Patriots. I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys and Rams come down to the final drive.
Yeah. Really, they're all great matchups, I think.
I would say so. But I think I have the Chiefs and Patriots in the AFC Championship, and then I have the Eagles and Cowboys in the NFC Championship, in my perspective. But
Yeah.
anything can happen. There's so many
Yeah.
different possibilities. So
Yeah, I can't argue with your picks. And then if you went opposite, Rams, Saints, or Colts, Chargers, like they're both great games, but
yeah, but we're gonna hope for the best.
Yep.
And hope they don't give us a bad game like the Colts and Texans game. That was a pitiful game.
Yeah, hopefully they don't turn out like the first two games of the college football playoff.
Oh yeah, or even the championship game. That was a second half kind
really
of went
all
out.
the playoff games, but that's a different discussion. for a
Alabama,
different day.
Oklahoma was closer than people thought it was. I mean, the
Yeah.
comeback happened. Granted, Nick Saban couldn't run the ball in that game for some
Yeah.
reason, but so that's us on the divisional games. We're gonna move on from to the coaching. What happened with the coaches this week? A lot of coaches got hired within the last 7 days. We're gonna start off with the Packers with Matt LaFleur, however you pronounce his name.
Yeah.
I was surprised on that pick for the fact that LaFleur was not a coaching candidate to begin with at all.
Yeah.
And then two, why go offensive if you already have Aaron Rodgers?
Mhm.
Aaron Rodgers is already
Yeah.
his own coach. They should have went defense because they're a defense away from a championship
Yeah.
run. I mean, I trust Rodgers with all my heart. I mean, he's
Yeah.
gonna do what he's gonna do. But if you can't play defense, then what's the point? So
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is like he's the outside of Tom Brady, he's this league's Peyton Manning now. He is, like you said, his own coach, and he could coach that offense by himself if he wanted to. But yeah, I don't know.
and then a very surprising one: the Cardinals picked up Cliff Kingsbury, the Texas Tech former head coach. I don't know where the Cardinals are at this point in time. I know after Bruce Arians, they picked up Steve Wilkes. Only one season, you cut him. I don't think Steve Wilkes even deserved to be the head coach anyway.
Yeah.
I think they're making another mistake with Cliff Kingsbury. I think they should have gave Mike McCarthy
Yeah.
a mega deal because you're in a rebuild at this
Mhm.
point, and
Yeah.
that division's just going to get tougher. I know that the Rams are going to fall out at some point. They got too many talent, not enough money. Seahawks, they're getting old,
Yeah.
but I don't know how long Pete Carroll's going to stay with that team. He is old too. And then the 49ers, I mean, you got a young coach in Shanahan,
Yeah.
and then Jimmy Garoppolo comes back, and
Yeah.
really that team was playing decently without Jimmy Garoppolo,
Mhm.
despite what the record was. They were in most of those games,
Yeah.
despite the season finale. But
Yeah. So next year is going to be a three-headed beast, I think, in the NFC West, and the Cardinals are just going to be getting a participation trophy, really.
yeah,
But
unless they make a huge splash in these free agency, don't be surprised they pick up Antonio Brown or something like that. They got the
Yeah.
money, they can trade. I mean, they got some people they can trade, but I don't know how Kingsbury's going to be.
yeah, I'm thinking maybe they went with that route because Josh Rosen, just young quarterback, get him a college coach. But I don't know.
Probably the best pickup in this year's coaching candidate stuff, whatever you want to call it. Bruce Arians going to the Bucks.
Yeah.
For a team that's already high powered in offense, that helps. But Bruce Arians does know how to coach defense also,
Yeah.
which is only the Buccaneers' problem. They had no defense whatsoever. I mean, they had top 3 offense in the league.
Yeah, but their defense just
that terrible.
Yeah.
He is going to be working with Jameis Winston. It is set in stone that Jameis Winston will be the starting quarterback for this year at least. I think they're going to pick up his 5th-year option. But for a division, you have Sean Payton, Dan Quinn, and Ron Rivera. This is a guy they needed to bring in. This is a true coach. He's coached before. He's worked with Ben Roethlisberger, Carson Palmer's in one of his best years ever. I mean, this is a guy that can compete against those guys. Where Dirk Kyoto, whoever his name wasn't. He couldn't do that against those guys.
Yeah,
This is a legit coaching division.
Yeah, a power move for the Bucks.
So I think all 4 of those teams have potential to win the division next year now. But I think I'm gonna lean on Atlanta next year once they get healthy.
Yeah.
But moving on, the Browns hired their offensive coordinator Freddie Kitchens. I was kind of stunned on this one because they were gonna go for Greg Williams or Bruce Arians, and they went neither.
Yeah.
Greg Williams really brought this team back into the playoff picture until near the end, but you want to give it. I don't know why they went. I can see why they went offense because of Baker Mayfield, but I think everyone rallied behind Greg.
Yeah.
I think this could bite them back down the road, but I mean they're a young potential team.
Yeah.
Hopefully he can get a great staff. Maybe bring back Greg Williams. I don't know, but I know Greg Williams is still a candidate for the Bengals job.
Yeah.
And then someone else who we're gonna go to later is thinking about picking up too, but I'm a little shocked on that one.
Yeah. Same.
The Broncos picked up Vic Fangio, the defensive coordinator from the Bears. This is a good move and a bad move.
Yeah.
Why it's a bad move? He's like 61 years old, so his time isn't going to be. Well, here's the problem with the Broncos. The Broncos' problem is John Elway. He is in the problem of I want to win now. I don't care about the future.
Yeah.
That's what happened with the Peyton Manning. You brought Peyton Manning in. You dumped off Tim Tebow that you wasted a first-round pick.
Yeah.
You got a couple years. You drop. He leaves. Then you bring in Gary Kubiak, how he pronounced his name. You drafted Braxton Lynch first round. You dump him off because of Case Keenum, because he wants to win now, and they're just that's the problem. They're not building onto they're wasting first, second round picks for older guys that might produce. Yeah. Peyton Manning, yes, was a good pickup, but the future was destroyed.
Yeah. And then Case Keenum, I'm still scratching my head over why they picked him up for the first pick, because he did not carry the Vikings to the playoffs. That defense did. He had a good season, but the defense carried the Vikings to the playoffs last year.
Yeah, so now I think the Broncos are going to have a great defense. Still, I don't know who the quarterback's going to be next year. I know Case Keenum is signed for next year, but they're probably going to dump him off again. But like they always do with their quarterbacks, but be weary about his age and how long he's going to be. And then the last coach to be hired, which was last night, Adam Gase signed with the Jets, which I'm surprised if you can see why, but I can see why. It's a division rival. I mean, the Bills did it with Rex Ryan a couple of years ago, but and then the Patriots did it with Bill Belichick a long time ago when he was the Jets head coach for like 2 days. Yeah. But yeah, this is really weird. Apparently, Sam Darnold picked out Adam Gase. Adam Gase is supposed to be having a offensive mind, but ranked 24, 25, and 31 the last 3 years. His play calling is bubble screens every other play. His coordinators are absolutely just terrible. Vance Joseph was one of his defensive coordinators in his time, 2016 was 29th ranked defense. Last year was ranked 3 defense, and this year was ranked 22. So obviously, he couldn't work with the defense. And last year was a fluke because it wasn't his defense.
Yeah.
It was still that Super Bowl winning team defense still.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the surprising thing to me about that Jets pickup is Mike McCarthy was saying his only job would be the Jets.
I know, they chose Adam Gase over Mike McCarthy.
Yeah,
And,
a guy who's been to a Super Bowl and been to the playoffs
who
many
coached
times.
Aaron Rodgers, who has 123 career wins to 72? I mean,
yeah.
he's a
understand.
true experience where Adam Gase was a failed for 3 years. So it's I question that for the Jets, but
yeah, the Jets are being the Jets again. So
yeah, they care about Sam Darnold, and that's the only person they care about.
Yeah,
quarterbacks don't win you every game. You need a whole project.
Yeah, you need the entire team.
And then two teams that still have no coaches, the Bengals and the Dolphins. Chances are, who they're interviewing are still in the playoffs. I know that the Dolphins have interviewed the defensive coordinator, play calling for the Cowboys. Cowboys are still in the playoffs. The Bengals, I really don't know who they're going after. They're in a whole mess. A lot of those guys kind of pulled out. I know that Greg Williams is still in the search. Vance Joseph's in the search for the Bengals. So I think the Bengals are kind of desperate at this point.
Yeah.
But we should see another head coaching within another week or two. I know the Dolphins are trying to trade for John Harbaugh. That's something to keep an eye on too, because that would be probably a blockbuster trade and kind of change the whole AFC up a little. Because the Ravens kind of lose their head coach, but you bring an experienced coach in the AFC East.
Yeah.
With the possibility of Belichick leaving next year, so that's crazy.
Yeah. We're not done yet. Not with the coaches.
No, but that's the coaching update for any of you guys and what our opinion is. And then lastly, Kyler Murray he hasn't declared yet, but he's saying he's probably going to go into the NFL draft. So we have potentially 2 quarterbacks that can go in within the first 10 rounds. And when I say the first 10 round is 8 of those teams already has franchise quarterbacks.
Yeah.
What's the point of getting another guy if you already have a franchise?
Yeah.
The 2 teams that I'm probably going to be looking for is the Giants and the Jaguars. They're the 2 top 10, and then the Dolphins are chilling at 12. The next team that really doesn't have a quarterback. So watch some trades about to bust out within the next month or two. And,
Cardinals trade that first overall pick for Antonio Brown. Give Josh Rosen a legit target. I don't know if they would go that far, but
I don't know. That the whole Cardinals organization's weird, but
yeah.
And then Dwayne Haskins also declared for the NFL draft sometime last week. So this quarterback class, it's not the greatest, but you got a few guys. You got them too. You got Will Greer. You got the dude from Duke. I know the guy from Oregon backed out. He's going to go in the next year's draft. Or the next year's draft is going to be stacked. But can some teams wait till next year?
Yeah.
I don't know. That requires you essentially tanking. You don't want to tank. That's not the goal.
You don't want to admit to tanking.
Yeah, and then you got probably the top quarterback coming out next year, Tua Tagovailoa. So all eyes are open in the next 2 years at the quarterback drafts. But that's our episode for this week. If you haven't already, give us a sub and a like, and give us some questions so we can start answering. We're going to start doing some question and answerings back to our fans, and we'd like to hear what you guys want to say, and hopefully we have some great answers for you guys. But, thank you for all the support. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day.